Hey there, I'm Gio and I'm Georgian, living in Moscow, Russia. And today I want to talk about what it is like to be a foreigner in Russia, what it is like to be Georgian in Moscow. So let's start from my background. Both of my parents are ethnically Georgians, and I was born in Georgia as well during the last days of its Soviet period. Technically, I was born in the Soviet Union, and when the USSR collapsed, my family relocated to Moscow, to Russia. I grew up in Moscow. I was going to Russian kindergarten, Russian school. I graduated Russian university. Russian is my first language. I'm thinking in Russian, and even my wife is Russian as well. At the same time, my entire family is Georgian, and we try to keep and preserve this culture and traditions in the family. So my name, Gio, is actually a short variant of George, a really popular name in Georgia. And in Georgian, it will sound like Georgi and Gio as short variant. In Russia, people also call me Georgi, but Russians like to give you short little names like names for friends. And for example, Alexander in Russia becomes Sasha, Maria in Russia becomes Masha, Ivan becomes Vanya, and my name, George or Georgi, becomes Gosha. I'm Gosha in Russia and George from Georgia. When I was a kid, I didn't really feel that I'm a foreigner and I'm lucky in it, because making friends at school or kindergarten or university was not ever a problem for me. Kids usually don't really care about your nationality. Yes, they see you look a little bit different, I'm darker, but no one cared. Because Russia is a really multinational country. There are so many nationalities that are living here that nobody actually cares about the way you look. When I grew up, I started to get some attention in a good way, because when you're in a northern country like Russia and you look southern, you get some benefits from it, you know what I mean? Russians love foreigners as a rule. In most cases, as a foreigner, you are treated much better than the local. Another point is when you're growing up in a different country and you're a foreigner or you're mixed, you lack this feeling of home. I mean, Moscow is a gorgeous city and I love living here, but I always lack this feeling of belonging to this city. And same thing in Georgia, like when I'm in Russia, I'm Georgian, when I'm in Georgia, I'm Russian. And my personality is hugely mixed, it's hard to explain, but most of my friends are here in Moscow and I've never lived in Georgia long enough, but I strongly associate myself with Georgia and Georgian culture, so I identify myself as Georgian. And it sort of makes me stand out from Moscow, and at the same time I cannot fully integrate into Georgian society as I've never been living there. And this very point of cultural identification is actually very hard, because mentally I'm Russian. I've been living here in Moscow for almost 30 years. What else do you expect? But I was raised in the family with Georgian culture, Georgian traditions and Georgian language. I'm really proud of my name, which is hard to pronounce for Russians. My full name is George Manveli. Yeah, it's hard to pronounce for most of nations here. I understand, Manvelishvili. But I'm proud of my name. I'm proud of the country itself, the culture, the traditions, the history, the people. And honestly speaking, I simply don't have right to let it go with next generations, and my mission is just to pass it to my kids so they also could feel this identity and attribution to Georgian culture. And Russian as well. Difficult, but it's gonna be okay. Let's sum up what are the pros and cons of living between two countries. Having attribution to two different cultures and countries makes you more open-minded and multicultural. You have the possibility to see the things from different perspectives and you are able to compare things. So this is really cool opportunity. And when you grow up in bilingual family, as in my case, from the childhood you get used to hearing different languages. And I really believe that when you hear different languages, it's easier for you to learn other languages. Because, for example, I speak English, Russian and French, and Georgian a little bit. Another point is, as a foreigner in Russia, you are getting more attention in a good way. As I mentioned earlier, Russians love foreigners. You are treated just better than locals. If you're a foreigner or expat, just look a little bit different. Russians love it. From negative sides of being mixed and living between two countries is the biggest problem of cultural identification. It's hard to tell people who you are, because if you're in Russia, you tell everybody that you're Georgian. If you're in Georgia, you're sort of Georgian, but that you never lived there and you answer that you are Russian, but it's not all completely true. I'm Georgian, living in Russia. There is even a special term in Russia because there are many Georgians living in Russia. They are called Russian Georgians. And having this confusion of cultural identification also doesn't really help to understand who you are. It can take really great amount of time to understand who you are, where you belong to, but it's all worth it, and I don't think you need to overthink it because you're unique and you're beautiful. In this uniqueness, you belong to both cultures, and this makes you really different and beautiful. And one final con, that generally people expect you to speak foreign language. I should be speaking Georgian, but I really don't because I miss practice, and this expectation of people give you hard feelings that you don't really meet this expectation if you don't speak. I know there are many people like me, mixed, living in different countries, sharing life between two countries, or being foreigners, expats, and I know it can be tough sometimes, but also this is great experience that makes you grow as a person, and things are going to be okay with your self-identification. You have my word. Like this video, by the way. Thanks for watching. До свидания. Пока.